Join me as I create a little water fountain hydration station with a solar panel for my garden. Here in California and across a lot of the United States, we've had a lot of heat waves, which is tough on gardens, but also tough on wildlife that are in our gardens. So I wanted to create a little hydration station for some of the, not only bugs, lizards, but also some of the other wildlife we get through our yard. We get a lot of possums, raccoons, you name it. But what we also have is mosquitoes. So I want to make sure that this is like flowing water, not stagnant, still water. So what do? I have a yard that is very far away from my house. There's no electricity. I'll show you what I've got. This is my front yard. It's actually parkway, so it is in front of my property, which is here, but it is actually city owned. So we do have some irrigation that we've placed here, but there's no electricity. But it does get a lot of sun, as you can see. I'd really like to make this area kind of a nice little like rest station, somewhere where you can sit. Yes, we do have quite heavy traffic in the area, but I think it would be really nice to put a little fountain in here, not only for the wildlife to enjoy, but also to have a little bit of water sounds that will drown out some of the traffic that's going by, as you can, I'm sure, hear. So I was gifted this very cool solar water fountain. So this is the Papa Soap solar fountain. It can be found on Amazon. Now look at the size of this solar panel. This is big. It came with this water fountain, but it can be used to power up a battery if you're camping. It can be used for lots of things. So as you can see, it's got a big solar panel and then it has this little plug, so you can use that for lots of different things. What's also cool about it is it has a little stand, so you can angle it to get the best use of your yard. For me, south is that direction, so I want it to kind of always be at that angle in order to get the best sun. So if I place this panel right here, that's going to get pretty much all day sun, and it's kind of hidden away in there. I might move it slightly because, as you can see, there is some irrigation there, so I might move it a little bit further that way. I might change up some of these plants so it can be hidden in there, but I think that's a good spot for it. And I think here with my kind of cute plantings is going to be a good spot for the fountain itself. So I have this plastic, it's actually a hanging basket, and the reason I chose this is it has a drainage hole that can be plugged up because I want this to be able to remain full of water. So with this fountain, which is actually pretty decently sized, that's why I got this pot, which is fairly deep. It has kind of a tray that you can take out if you want. You can place this in, and it comes with all of these different fixtures and fittings so that you can change what type of fountain you want, fountain flow. So, you know, if you want just a dribble or if you want more like kind of artistic look, shall we say, and I'll show you what they all look like. The cable that it comes with is also quite large, so you could move it quite a distance from the solar panel itself as well. I'm gonna fill up my bucket so we can test this thing out. So another interesting benefit about adding water to your yard is we suffer from a lot of gophers and other animal pests, and apparently if you add water to your yard, they're less likely to eat your plants, because a lot of times they're eating the plants because they're looking for water. Sounds contradictory, but apparently it works. Look how simple this is going to be to just plug it in here. As I always laugh, I am doing this one-handed because I have the camera in one hand. It's simple enough to connect. This is the back of the solar panel. Again, this solar panel can be used for other products as well. So it could be kind of useful for camping and that kind of thing, but very cool in the garden. This is the fountain end. You just pop this in here. There. All right, we are connected. I'm gonna put this back into the sun. And I can already hear my fountain running. So here's with no attachments. We just, oh my gosh. There we go. I even got the camera. That's how powerful this thing is. So that's pretty cool. Let me show you what it's like with the different attachments. The kit comes with all of these accessories. So you can have lots of different options for what kind of stream you want and how deep you have it. This is I mean, you can't call this a pond. You could definitely put this thing in a pond. This is, if you want it to go longer. Simple as that. Or, so I have it plugged in so you can feel the air coming out. You can put all these accessories on, and I'll show you what they look like once they're in the water. You've got a pretty stream like that. I mean, look at that. That'd be good if you have a much bigger pond. We won't be using that in this situation, but pretty cool, pretty powerful. Kind of like, I'm getting soaked as I do this. It's kind of fun. It's a hot day. This is a much simpler, shorter one. I think if you have that kind of, wow, again, powerful. Under the water, it's more that style. This one's kind of interesting looking. I wonder what this one's gonna look like. Put it in there. That one's more if you've got like a waterfall kind of situation. This one looks kind of adjustable. Oh wow, look at that one. So tons of options. For me, I'm gonna go simple, but I do like that there's so many options and they just all come with it. I mean, look how far that's streaming. Totally not suitable in this situation, but if you had a pond, that would be very cool. And there's the solar panel hidden away behind the plants there. So my plan now is I'm actually gonna dig a hole right here to fit this into it and make it almost look kind of hidden within the landscape. And I've got a ton of these boulders. I'm gonna put them inside because again, that's one thing I've heard with bees. When bees are looking for water, a big open thing like water like that, they can drown. But if you have damp rocks, they can get a drink and come out. Same with butterflies. And then I'll still make it so it's possible for other animals such as possums to come and just get a nice little drink. All right, it's hard to tell from the lighting, but I have dug my hole. I'm gonna try and place my bucket in here, see if we measured it pretty well. That's pretty good. And now I'm gonna just fill it in around. All right, so we're gonna fill this in. Some of this dirt I moved out of the way. And I think the other plan for me is to kind of disguise it up and maybe kind of almost make it look pretty with a lot of the stone. You see I'm kind of making a mess. That's one downside to this, but there is a little plug that I can kind of drain this if need be. I have my pond, I have my water bowl. I won't really call it a pond. I have my water bowl in situ. It's in there pretty well. And next I'm gonna put the pump in, and I think I have it turned off at the moment because I just wanna get the placement right. Obviously I'm gonna add some more water as well. And the nice thing, I don't know if I mentioned, there's little like sticky feet on here, so it's staying there pretty well, and I can also kind of disguise the wire behind these plants so it won't look too bad. Now what I'm gonna do is as I mentioned, I've got these kind of sandstone boulders. I'm gonna add them to here, not only will it make it look prettier, I'm gonna add some around to make it look more natural, but I think it will also help when, say, bees and butterflies wanna come and take a drink. So these are all pretty big. I'm gonna pick out some of the smaller ones. Hopefully there's not too many creepy spiders in here. So I'm gonna pick some of these out now. All right, I started doing this. Some of these stones, I mean, sandstone is pretty porous, so some are better than others, I've found, as I'm putting them in. I'm just kind of trying to place it around. Might add a few more, and then actually I'm gonna get the stream going, so maybe that'll give us an idea of what it's gonna look like. Let's try that. Okay, so our water's plugged in. So I think if I kind of hide the stones around, that'll look pretty good. I gotta find a few more stones. Some of these stones, let's see if we put it there. I want it to seem kind of like a nice little natural pool. Let's see how we're handling this. So I might add a little bit more water. Let's see what it's like when we add a little more water. Okay, so I'm gonna add more stones over there, but I'm pretty happy with. Once we plant this up and hide it, disguise it with some of these rocks, I think it's gonna look really cool. I also have a few more succulents I want to plant around it. I think it'll make a really cute feature here. I found one stone in my pile. It looks like quartz, and it's way prettier when it's wet, so I think that'll be really nice in there. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Look at the pretty color. It's like rose quartz. It's kind of got pinky orange. I think that works really nicely. I might make this a little bit higher again for the more insects if they want to pop down, but hopefully, and this should be enough for them to kind of land on, and then also have a bit for the larger animals to have a drink. Okay, here's how we are so far. One of the things I'm very excited about, I think the birds are especially gonna love this. So I'm gonna keep that kind of fairly open in the middle, and then I'm going to cover these with rocks and with some plants. All right, so I have all these lovely little echeverias I want to plant around it. I think it'll look so pretty. I'm gonna add some nice loamy soil and stick them in like that. The soil all around so they're nice and snug in there. Okay, the sun has set, so my fountain has turned off. That's the thing. It is solar, so it only works with bright, direct sunlight. It also, I should note, it lowers in intensity when there's like a shadow over it. So that's one aspect that you should think about when you are choosing your placement of your solar panel. I ended up moving it. Let me show you what we've ended up with. So here is my little pond. I'm definitely not done. I want to do a lot more planting around it. But as you can see, I've filled it with lots of pebbles and decorative stones. Again, it's not totally finished. But as usual, everything in this yard is a work in progress. I've got this kind of like nice little succulent tapestry. Definitely watch this space because I do plan on finishing this up with a lot of nice stone and gravel and stuff to make it look really finished off. And then I do have my solar panel hidden around here, right in here. So it's kind of facing south. Our sun sets way over there, so it is kind of at a southeastern angle. So thank you so much to Papa Soap for sending me this cool gadget for my garden. Thanks so much for joining me in the garden today. I'm always happy to try and answer any questions you may have in the garden. You can also find any products featured in this video on my link tree. And don't forget to check out my Instagram and TikTok, and of course, subscribe.